Hello and welcome to Creative Sparkle. My name's Holly and today we're doing an art journal prompt list, so grab your art supplies and let's get crafting. Thank you for joining me today. So for the first prompt on today's prompt list, we're going to be priming the page as you wish. And as I'm working in a recycled book, I do need to prime the page, so I'm just using white gesso and I'm going to spread it over the full page. I will do 2 layers, but I won't show you the second one, don't worry. So once that's all dry, we'll move on to the next prompt, which is spray water over the background and then spray 2 or 3 colours over the background. So I've chosen 3 colours. Each is a distress ink. So the green I've chosen is mowed lawn, the yellow mustard seed, and the blue is broken china. So I'm just spraying these over the background, and once that layer is dried, I'll spray another layer over that, just until I'm happy with how the background looks. And once the page has dried, I'm going to use some fixative spray, and then I'll be able to use glue or water on top of those colours. So prompt number 3 is to choose a small semi-simple shape or image and repeat across the page for the background. So I've chosen this punch that punches out a butterfly, and you can have it on the paper, but I'm going to pull that off and then repeat those over the background so that I have a lovely pattern over the background. So if you don't have punches that you're happy using, you can cut something out, or you can use a stamp or an image from tissue paper. Whatever you have will be absolutely fine. So I'm sticking these down with Mod Podge. It does blur the colours a little bit. That fixative wasn't quite as good as I wanted. So I start pressing them onto the page with tissue rather than going over the top. So for prompt number 4, we're going to be adding detail or colour to 6 or more of those shapes and images that you've added from the previous step. So I chose to use some Cosmic Shimmer in the colour green, but once I started that I saw it wasn't working out as well as I wanted it to. So I just took a baby wipe and wiped over the surface there because it's got Mod Podge on, easy to remove. And then I decided to go with the paint in yellow, and I'm going to just add that yellow. I did plan on adding the green as well, but the yellow is the main colour that I used, and I'm going to be adding that to 6 of my butterflies. So once my butterflies are all dry and ready to go, the next prompt is prompt number 5, which is add something nature inspired to your page in 3 places. Now I've cut these images out. It was a sample wallpaper, which you can get online at pretty much any place that sells wallpaper. They'll send you a few free samples to begin with, and I chose some that I could cut out and use on my art journal pages. So I'm just sticking those down with Mod Podge as well, and then I'm going to cover the page with Mod Podge at the parts that I haven't yet, because I'm just a bit worried about that spray moving again in the background. So once your nature inspired is being fixed on, we can create or add a focal image relating to prompt number 5. So I've chosen this napkin with a hummingbird on it, and what I'm going to do is the usual, which is to cut out the image itself, and I'm going to use Mod Podge to stick it to a piece of card so that it has that background of the white coming through so that you can see the image clearly, rather than sticking it directly onto the page when I've already got colour there. If you had a white page or you wanted to stick it directly onto the page, you could add white to the page first. But I've chosen to do it this way because I just thought it would be easier and it would make it stand out a bit more. So once I get that stuck down, I'll put a layer of Mod Podge over the top as well. It's the matte Mod Podge that I'm using, and I'll get that cut out and stuck down onto the page. these two leaves and some Brussels sprout paper, and I thought the outcome was very good. So if I'd have known that I was going to be cutting out some shapes for the prompts, I probably wouldn't have added the butterflies as well. I feel like everything I've added to this page at the moment is everything that's stuck down, that's cut out of paper. So I'll stick those down with Mod Podge as well, and then we'll move on to the next prompt, which is prompt number 8, and it's choose one of your background colours and add doodles. So I've chosen this blue pen, and it's just a biro pen, to outline some of the butterflies, just the white butterflies at the moment. But that particular pen wasn't working for me, so I chose a different blue pen, which is a gel pen, a uniball pen, and it's a metallic blue, so I'll change up for this one instead, and go around the butterflies and just colour in the middle of their bodies as well. So once I finish adding the blue, I will then look at the leaves that I've done. I'll add a white border around them so that I've got a base, and then I'm going to add yellow to that white border so that each of the leaves stand out as well. So for the next prompt, which is prompt number 9, we're going to be adding a 7-letter word as your title. Now, you might struggle to find a 7-letter word that relates to your page. I personally did, but I managed to get one that I was happy with in the end. So I've chosen the word flutter, and I'm adding it with a white Posca pen, and then I'm going to add the colours yellow and green, although it will look like the Brazilian flag when I'm finished. It's absolutely fine, it goes with the page, and I'm happy with the outcome of that. And once I've finished adding the yellow and the green, I'm going to come back with that blue pen that I used on the butterflies and outline the word as well. So the next prompt is the final prompt, which is prompt number 10, and it's to add splashes or drips in one of your background colours. So you choose another of your background colours. I've chosen to go with yellow because the yellow isn't so visible in the background, it's more green. So I thought to bring a bit of yellow back, and it will fit quite nicely in with the page. So I've chosen to do these yellow splatters. So once I've finished adding those splatters, I then decide that I'm not quite as happy as I thought I might have been with the title. So I'm going to go back with a white gel pen and go around where I've added the blue pen. I'm going to do that in white instead, because I think it would just stand out a bit better against the background. So that's the page finished. I will put pictures of it up at the end of the video. The full prompt list also will be at the end of the video if you want to make a note of it and try the prompt list yourself. If you do decide to try it, then please do tag me on Instagram with #SparklePrompts. I will see you next time, where we will turn your creative spark into a creative sparkle. Bye!